The lack of internet facilities in some sections of the faculty, such as the Awomaso and Boedi stations, tend to frustrate research. But I'm happy to announce to the congregation that in spite of this constraint, research activities in the college have picked up somewhat compared to the previous years. Faculty members are now much more aware of their responsibilities towards research than any other time in the history of this university. This has filtered through to the departmental level, and as a result, the college pursued well-defined lines of research and published appropriately. As is to be expected, the college continued to depend heavily on external agencies, programs, and projects to provide financial resources and physical facilities for its research activities. In the Department of Agricultural Economics, Agribusiness and Extension, for example, 8 solid papers were published in referee journals of international repute with high impact. In addition, some members of staff attended both local and international conferences. Senior members in the Department of Horticulture continued with their research on very useful and practical issues which are crucial for the growth and development of the subsector, including formulation of soilless media for rooting difficult to root ornamental plants, processing methods and assessment of accessibility of processed selected traditional leafy vegetables, and evaluation of several tomato cultivars for storability, resistant to pests and diseases. 3 members of staff in horticulture had the opportunity to attend the African Union-sponsored African Horticultural Congress in Kenya towards the end of last year, during which time they all presented papers. Most members of the department continue to play very important roles in the Ghana Institute of Horticulturists and to fulfill its research needs. Distinguished invited guests, the Department of Crop and Soil Sciences currently runs the Tissue Culture and Plant Biotechnology Facility in the university, which is being expanded to include molecular genetics. These facilities will certainly enhance research opportunities in the department. Again, partly as a result of these facilities, research in the department has picked up very well. A total of 24 publications were produced as a direct result of research pursued by members of staff in this department, and they attended 22 different conferences during the year under review. The department also attracted nearly a total of $600,000 from different sources, including the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the Root and Tuber Crops Improvement and Marketing Project, as well as the Export Development and Investment Fund. These funds were used primarily for research purposes. In the Department of Animal Science, the thrust of their research has been to find ways of increasing the productivity of small animal holdings using efficient and cost-effective ways of feeding animals through the use of non-conventional feed resources and the use of genetically improved breeds. A total of 6 journal articles and 22 conference proceedings were produced from this department. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boedi Dairy Beef Research Station and the Awomaso Agricultural Research Station have pursued their mandate with limited resources, but in spite of this, they carried out research projects which were of direct relevance to the communities living within their catchment area. Some of these works include the effect of moringa leaf meal on nutrient digestibility, growth, carcass and blood indices of winter rabbits. At the Agricultural Research Station, efforts are being made to research into the integration of pastures and small ruminants on oil palm plantations. As is expected, the results of these efforts were published in reputable journals. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at the Faculty of Renewable Natural Resources, our research efforts have centered on the following broad areas. A, forest-related livelihoods and forest governance in the high forest zone of Ghana. B, indigenous ecological knowledge of on-farm tree management, C, species invasion of Ghanaian forest resources, and finally, logging and natural forest regeneration. The Department of Wood Science and Technology collaborated with the Department of Civil Engineering and Bern University of Switzerland to jointly undertake research to determine the suitability of selected lesser-known and utilized species of timber for the construction of bridges and timber frame houses. The findings of this research project would have tremendous impact on our forest cover and the rate at which an aspect of our environment could be depleted. Just like the Faculty of Agriculture, this faculty also produced several articles and conference papers, most of which have direct impact on public policy. The research publications on the use of lesser-known species for bridge construction, and the other one on the sustainable production and utilization of wood fuels in Ghana are good examples. The Bureau of Integrated Rural Development, BERD, has also been very active in pursuing contract research projects. During the year under review, the Bureau executed a major research project for Newmont Ghana Limited on stakeholders' expectations in the mining area. Subsequently, the Bureau was engaged to carry out another study on a quantitative survey of the resettlement plan completion audit. Such studies are useful since their results enable Newmont to fulfill its social responsibilities to the extent possible. For us, what is important is that these studies have generated a wealth of data for subsequent research activities. Output of the Bureau's research on rural development indicators have attracted the attention of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, since the results can be used as inputs for the prioritization of some of the projects pursued by the Rural Infrastructure Coordinating Unit of the Community-Based Rural Development Project. And now, some statistics on our graduates this afternoon. This afternoon, we are presenting 483 students from the 3 faculties for graduation. Out of this number, 22 are graduating in the first class category, with 261 graduating in the second class upper division category. The latter category may be more than expected in the normal population, but it indicates that they have been properly trained. 168 of the graduates earned second class lower division degree, with only 6 earning pass degrees. We are also graduating 3 distinction and 23 pass from the diploma program on our Sunyani campus.